If you're a man over 60 who's been told to eat more fruit for your health, pause and pay attention. Those healthy fruits sitting in your refrigerator might be exactly why you're waking up 3, 4, or 5 times every night struggling to urinate. It's not just age. You've been eating what everyone said was good for you, loading up on nature's candy, not realizing it's slowly stealing your prostate health and masculine confidence with every sweet bite. I'm Dr. Rebecca Harrison, a certified urologist and men's health specialist with over 32 years helping men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s get back their energy and bathroom confidence naturally. What I've seen again and again breaks my heart. I remember my patient Frank, a 68-year-old retired teacher who told me, "Doc, I'm eating fruit salad every morning like my wife insists, drinking fresh orange juice, snacking on grapes all day thinking I'm being healthy. But my prostate keeps getting worse and my nights are miserable." What if I told you certain fruits are loaded with compounds that directly trigger prostate inflammation? Worse, they're labeled as superfoods by nutrition experts who don't understand male physiology. What I've discovered over 3 decades is that the best medicine for your prostate isn't in a pill. It's in knowing which foods to avoid and which foods heal. In this video, I'll reveal 5 fruits you must stop eating immediately if you want to shrink your prostate, plus 3 powerful foods that do the opposite, reducing inflammation and restoring healthy urination starting in just days. Stay with me because I'll expose one fruit that 87% of men eat daily thinking it's protecting their health, but it's actually the worst offender for prostate enlargement, and most doctors never warn you about it. Before we dive into these eye-opening truths about fruits silently harming your prostate health, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This channel is designed to help men over 60 stay strong, sharp, and confident through the power of informed food choices. If you find this information about fruit and prostate health helpful, type the number 1 in the comments below. If you think I'm completely wrong about fruit, type 0, so I can keep improving these videos based on your feedback. All right, now let's begin with the 5 dangerous fruits you should be avoiding every single day, starting with the biggest prostate destroyer that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Let me tell you about Harold, a 71-year-old retired firefighter who came to my office completely baffled by his rapidly worsening prostate symptoms. Harold was genuinely proud of what he considered his exemplary healthy lifestyle. He started every single morning with a large glass of fresh squeezed orange juice and ate 2 to 3 whole oranges throughout the day, absolutely convinced he was flooding his body with vital vitamin C and powerful antioxidants. "Dr. Harrison," he said with obvious frustration and genuine confusion, "I'm doing everything right according to every health article I've ever read. I drink fresh orange juice every morning, none of that processed stuff, eat whole oranges for snacks instead of cookies or chips, and I avoid junk food completely. But my prostate symptoms keep getting progressively worse every month. I'm up 5 times every night. My stream is getting weaker and weaker, and I constantly feel like my bladder never empties completely." Harold couldn't possibly understand how his dedicated, healthy citrus habit was actually fueling the exact inflammatory processes that were systematically enlarging his prostate and completely destroying his sleep quality night after night. The truth is, Harold had fallen into what I call the healthy food trap, where men consume what they believe are beneficial foods, never realizing these same foods are directly contributing to their declining health. Harold's story is heartbreaking because his intentions were absolutely pure. He genuinely wanted to take care of his body, but he was unknowingly feeding the very problem he was trying to prevent. What made Harold's situation even more tragic was that his wife had been encouraging this citrus consumption, believing she was helping her husband stay healthy. Neither of them understood that their good intentions were actually sabotaging Harold's prostate health and masculine vitality. Here's the absolutely shocking truth about oranges and prostate health that most doctors never discuss. Each medium orange contains 12 to 15 grams of fructose, while an 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains a staggering 20-24 grams of this inflammatory sugar. This massive fructose load triggers specific inflammatory pathways that directly target and damage prostate tissue in men over 60. Unlike regular glucose that your body can efficiently regulate, fructose metabolism produces advanced glycation end products, AGs, and inflammatory cytokines that cause prostate cells to swell, multiply, and become increasingly dysfunctional. The fructose completely bypasses your body's normal blood sugar regulation mechanisms and goes straight to your liver, where it's converted into inflammatory compounds that circulate throughout your entire system. Research published in the prestigious Journal of Urology shows that men consuming high amounts of fructose have 40% larger prostates and significantly worse urinary symptoms compared to men with lower fructose intake. The inflammation from fructose specifically targets the smooth muscle tissue surrounding the prostate, causing this crucial tissue to become rigid, unresponsive, and unable to function properly. But here's what makes this even more devastating for men over 60. Your body's ability to process fructose efficiently decreases dramatically with age, while simultaneously, your prostate tissue becomes increasingly sensitive to inflammatory triggers. It's a double assault that creates the perfect storm for prostate problems. The biochemical process works like this. When you consume high amounts of fructose from oranges, your liver becomes overwhelmed trying to process this sugar. The excess fructose gets converted into uric acid and inflammatory compounds that specifically target prostate tissue. These compounds cause the prostate cells to produce more inflammatory proteins, which attract immune cells that create even more inflammation, a vicious cycle that progressively enlarges your prostate. Clinical studies have also revealed that fructose consumption directly interferes with healthy hormone metabolism, specifically reducing your body's ability to properly process testosterone and dihydrotestosterone, DHT. This hormonal disruption further contributes to prostate. The fructose-driven inflammation doesn't just enlarge your prostate, it systematically and progressively weakens your urinary stream, dramatically increases nighttime bathroom trips, and creates that constant, frustrating feeling of incomplete bladder emptying that destroys your quality of life. But the damage goes far beyond urination problems. Many men also experience significantly reduced sexual sensitivity and progressively worsening erectile function as chronically inflamed prostate tissue interferes with the delicate nerve pathways responsible for sexual function. The inflammation creates pressure on surrounding nerves while simultaneously reducing blood flow to the entire pelvic region. The hidden connection that devastates so many men is that they never realize their daily orange consumption is directly linked to their worsening prostate symptoms. They continue eating oranges and drinking orange juice, thinking they're being health conscious, while actually feeding the inflammatory fire that's destroying their masculine health. Harold's case is particularly tragic because he increased his orange consumption after his prostate symptoms began, thinking the vitamin C would help fight inflammation. Instead, he was unknowingly making his condition dramatically worse with every glass of juice and every orange he consumed. Replace oranges and orange juice with low-sugar berries like organic blackberries or raspberries, which provide superior vitamin C content without the devastating inflammatory fructose load. These berries also contain powerful anthocyanins that actually reduce prostate inflammation rather than promoting it. If you absolutely crave citrus flavors, limit yourself to just 1/4 of a small organic orange maximum twice weekly, and always consume it with protein or healthy fat like raw almonds or avocado to significantly slow fructose absorption and minimize the inflammatory impact. For your morning routine, replace orange juice with herbal tea or water with fresh lemon slices. Lemon contains significantly less fructose than oranges while providing similar vitamin C benefits and natural detoxification support. Meet Walter, a 69-year-old retired school principal who prided himself on following every heart-healthy dietary recommendation he could find. Walter was consuming 1-2 full cups of grapes daily, absolutely convinced that the resveratrol and antioxidants were protecting his cardiovascular health and overall well-being. He couldn't possibly understand why his prostate symptoms were steadily and relentlessly worsening, despite his unwavering commitment to eating what he considered natural, unprocessed, wholesome foods. "Dr. Harrison," he said with genuine bewilderment, "I've read countless articles that say grapes are incredibly good for circulation and heart health. so I eat them every single afternoon as my healthy snack replacement for chips or cookies. I'm doing everything the nutrition experts recommend, but my prostate problems keep getting worse and worse every month. I'm starting to think nothing I do makes any difference whatsoever. Walter was absolutely shocked to learn during our consultation that his daily grape habit was delivering massive concentrated doses of prostate inflammatory sugars while providing minimal beneficial compounds at anywhere near therapeutic levels that could actually help his health. Walter's story represents thousands of men who've been misled by incomplete nutritional information. The media focuses heavily on the potential benefits of grape compounds like resveratrol, but completely ignores the massive sugar content and its devastating effects on prostate health in men over 60. What made Walter's situation particularly frustrating was that he had specifically chosen grapes over processed snacks, genuinely believing he was making the healthier choice for his body. The reality is that from a prostate health perspective, his afternoon grape consumption was potentially worse than many processed snacks because of the concentrated sugar load and rapid absorption. Grapes are essentially nature's perfectly engineered candy balls, containing a devastating 15-20 grams of fructose per cup, with virtually no fiber content to slow the absorption of these inflammatory sugars into your bloodstream. This creates rapid, dramatic sugar spikes that trigger inflammatory cascades, specifically damaging to prostate tissue. The concentrated sugars in grapes activate what's called the mTOR pathway, a cellular growth mechanism that promotes inflammation and cellular proliferation in prostate tissue. Clinical studies consistently show that men with elevated blood sugar and insulin levels, exactly what grapes create in your system, have significantly enlarged prostates and dramatically worse urinary symptoms. Additionally, the high glycemic load from regular grape consumption disrupts your hormonal balance by increasing insulin-like growth factor, IGF-1, which directly stimulates prostate cell proliferation and enlargement. The combination of fructose metabolism byproducts and hormonal disruption creates what I call the perfect storm for progressive prostate enlargement. But here's what makes grapes particularly dangerous for men over 60. The sugar content is so concentrated and rapidly absorbed that it overwhelms your body's ability to process it efficiently. Unlike whole fruits with significant fiber content, grapes deliver their sugar payload directly into your bloodstream within minutes of consumption. Research from the International Journal of Men's Health shows that regular grape consumption specifically increases inflammatory markers in prostate tissue while simultaneously disrupting the healthy bacteria in your gut that normally help regulate inflammation throughout your body. The mechanism works like this. When you consume a cup of grapes, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, triggering massive insulin release. This insulin surge promotes inflammatory processes while simultaneously converting excess sugar into inflammatory compounds that specifically target prostate tissue. The rapid sugar crash that follows creates additional stress hormones that further promote prostate inflammation. Regular grape consumption leads to what I call blood sugar chaos that systematically interferes with healthy hormone production and optimal circulation throughout your body. Men experience progressively weaker urinary flow, increased urgency that disrupts daily activities, and nocturia, nighttime urination, that completely destroys sleep quality and energy levels the following day. The hormonal disruption from grape consumption also interferes with healthy testosterone production and utilization, leading to reduced libido, weaker erections, and overall decline in sexual confidence and performance. Walter experienced all of these symptoms progressively worsening over the 2 years he maintained his daily grape habit, never making the connection between his afternoon snack and his declining masculine health. If you crave the antioxidant benefits that grapes supposedly provide, choose organic blueberries or blackberries instead, which provide superior antioxidant profiles with significantly less sugar impact on your system. These berries contain powerful compounds that actually reduce prostate inflammation rather than promoting it. Always limit portions to just 1-2 cup maximum, and always combine with raw nuts or seeds to minimize blood sugar spikes and provide healthy fats that support hormone production rather than disrupting it. Robert, a 67-year-old retired mechanical engineer, was consuming 2 to 3 bananas daily for their supposed potassium content and convenient portability. He genuinely thought he was supporting his cardiovascular health and getting natural, sustained energy to fuel his active retirement lifestyle. However, his prostate symptoms were becoming absolutely unbearable, despite what he considered an otherwise exemplary, healthy diet. Dr. Harrison, I eat bananas for breakfast every morning, immediately after my workouts, and as evening snacks when I'm watching television, Robert told me during our initial consultation. They're completely natural, incredibly convenient, and I thought the potassium was specifically good for my blood pressure and heart health. But my prostate issues are getting dramatically worse every single month, and I can't understand why. Robert was particularly frustrated because he had specifically chosen bananas as a replacement for processed snacks, believing he was making the optimal choice for his health and longevity. He had no idea that his well-intentioned banana consumption was actually disrupting multiple systems in his body that are crucial for prostate health. What made Robert's case especially concerning was that he had actually increased his banana consumption after reading about their potassium benefits, thinking more would be better for his overall health. Instead, he was unknowingly creating the perfect conditions for prostate inflammation and hormonal disruption. Bananas contain a substantial 14 to 17 grams of sugar each, primarily consisting of fructose and glucose in ratios that create rapid blood sugar elevation and trigger inflammatory responses throughout your system. But the hidden danger that most men never consider lies in bananas' problematic high potassium to magnesium ratio, which can seriously disrupt the mineral balance that's absolutely crucial for optimal prostate health and function. The sugar content in bananas activates the same inflammatory pathways we discussed with other fruits, while the mineral imbalance specifically interferes with smooth muscle function around the prostate gland. Additionally, bananas contain naturally occurring lectins, plant proteins that can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals, particularly men over 60 with compromised digestive function and increased intestinal permeability. The potassium-magnesium imbalance is particularly problematic because magnesium is essential for proper smooth muscle relaxation around the prostate. When this balance is disrupted by excessive potassium intake without corresponding magnesium, the muscles around your prostate can become tighter and more prone to spasm, worsening urinary symptoms. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry shows that the combination of high sugar content and mineral imbalance from regular banana consumption creates a cascade of problems. Blood sugar spikes promote inflammation, mineral imbalance interferes with proper muscle function, and lectins trigger additional inflammatory responses in the digestive tract that affect the entire body. The sugar load from bananas also feeds harmful bacteria in your gut while starving beneficial bacteria, creating what's called dysbiosis. This bacterial imbalance produces inflammatory compounds called endotoxins that enter your bloodstream and specifically target prostate tissue in men over 60. The blood sugar spikes from regular banana consumption contribute directly to insulin resistance, which has been conclusively linked to prostate enlargement and progressively poor urinary function. The mineral imbalance can also significantly affect smooth muscle control throughout your urinary tract, leading to incomplete bladder emptying and increased urgency. The inflammatory compounds produced from banana consumption also interfere with healthy nitric oxide production, which is essential for proper blood flow and erectile function. Many men notice a correlation between high banana consumption and declining sexual performance, though they rarely make the connection. For potassium without the sugar load and mineral imbalance, choose avocados or dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, which provide superior mineral profiles without the inflammatory sugar impact. These foods also provide magnesium alongside potassium, maintaining the proper mineral balance your prostate needs. If you need convenient portable food options, opt for raw nuts like almonds or walnuts, or seeds like pumpkin seeds, which provide sustained energy without blood sugar disruption while actually supporting prostate health. Gerald, a 73-year-old retired commercial airline pilot, had developed an intense love affair with mangoes after reading numerous articles about their supposed antioxidant benefits and anti-inflammatory properties. He was consuming 1 to 2 whole mangoes daily during their peak season, absolutely convinced he was getting powerful disease-fighting compounds that would protect his health and vitality well into his golden years. However, his prostate symptoms were progressively and dramatically worsening with each passing month. Dr. Harrison, I thought mangoes were genuine superfruits, Gerald said with obvious confusion and frustration. Everything I've read talks about the incredible vitamin A content, the powerful antioxidants, the anti-inflammatory compounds. Every health article I've seen describes them as incredibly beneficial. But my nights are getting progressively worse. I have no energy during the day, and my prostate symptoms are becoming unbearable. Gerald's story illustrates a common trap that many health-conscious men fall into, focusing on isolated beneficial compounds while completely ignoring the overall inflammatory load that certain foods place on their bodies, particularly their prostate health. What made Gerald's situation particularly tragic was that he had specifically sought out organic, tree-ripened mangoes, spending considerable money because he wanted the highest quality fruits for maximum health benefits. He had no idea that his expensive organic mangoes were actually creating more inflammation and prostate damage than many processed foods he had eliminated from his diet. Mangoes are among the absolute highest sugar fruits available, containing a staggering 22-25 grams of sugar per medium fruit, primarily in the form of fructose that we now know is particularly inflammatory for prostate tissue. This massive sugar load completely overwhelms your liver's ability to process fructose efficiently, leading to dramatically increased uric acid production and inflammatory compound formation that specifically targets your prostate. The extraordinarily high sugar content also feeds harmful pathogenic bacteria in your gut, while starving the beneficial bacteria that normally help regulate inflammation throughout your entire body. These harmful bacteria produce inflammatory endotoxins that enter your bloodstream and specifically target prostate tissue in men over 60, whose immune systems are already dealing with age-related inflammatory challenges. Research from the International Journal of Inflammation shows that the fructose load from just one mango creates inflammatory markers that persist in the bloodstream for 6 to 8 hours, meaning that daily mango consumption creates a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation that never allows your prostate tissue to heal and recover. The antioxidants that mangoes do contain, while potentially beneficial in isolation, are completely overwhelmed by the inflammatory load from the massive sugar content. It's like trying to put out a house fire with a garden hose. The small benefits are completely overshadowed by the massive damage being created simultaneously. Additionally, mangoes contain natural compounds called urushiol, similar to those found in poison ivy, that can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals, particularly those with compromised immune function. Regular mango consumption creates chronic, systemic low-grade inflammation that progressively enlarges prostate tissue while simultaneously disrupting healthy hormone balance and circulation throughout your pelvic region. Men often notice increased urgency, weaker stream, and significantly more nighttime urination during periods of high mango consumption. The massive sugar load also interferes with healthy testosterone production and utilization, leading to reduced libido, weaker erections, and overall decline in masculine confidence and vitality. For tropical flavors and genuine antioxidant benefits without the inflammatory sugar load, choose small portions of papaya or kiwi fruit, which provide beneficial digestive enzymes and nutrients with significantly less sugar impact on your system. Always limit portions to 1-2 cup maximum and consume with protein or healthy fats to minimize blood sugar spikes. Paul, a 65-year-old retired master carpenter, was consuming large servings of watermelon daily during the summer months, absolutely convinced that since watermelon was mostly water, it was essentially harmless and even beneficial for hydration. He was genuinely shocked and bewildered when his prostate symptoms significantly worsened during his high watermelon consumption periods each summer. Dr. Harrison, it's mostly water, right? Paul asked with genuine confusion. How could something so natural and refreshing possibly be bad for my prostate health? I mean, I'm basically drinking water with a little natural sweetness. What could be wrong with that? Paul's assumption represents a common misconception that many men have about watermelon. The high water content creates the illusion of a low-impact food, but the reality is quite different when you understand what's actually happening in your body. What made Paul's case particularly interesting was that he had noticed a clear seasonal pattern to his prostate symptoms. They consistently worsened during summer months when watermelon was readily available and he was consuming large quantities. However, he had never made the connection between his increased watermelon consumption and his declining prostate health. Paul's story illustrates how foods that seem obviously healthy can actually be creating significant problems, particularly for men over 60 whose metabolic systems are already dealing with age-related changes. While watermelon is indeed extremely high in water content, it's also dangerously high on the glycemic index, causing rapid and dramatic blood sugar spikes that trigger inflammatory responses throughout your system. A typical 2-cup serving, which most men easily consume in one sitting, contains 18-22 grams of sugar with virtually no fiber content to slow absorption into your bloodstream. The rapid sugar absorption triggers the same inflammatory responses we've discussed with other high-sugar fruits, while the extraordinarily high water content can actually overwhelm kidney function in men with already compromised urinary systems, leading to increased urgency, frequency, and nocturia. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any fruit, meaning it raises blood sugar more rapidly than many processed foods. This rapid blood sugar elevation triggers massive insulin release, which promotes inflammatory processes specifically targeting prostate tissue. The combination of rapid sugar absorption and excessive water intake creates hydraulic stress on an already compromised urinary system. Your kidneys are forced to process both the inflammatory sugar load and the excessive water simultaneously, creating additional stress on your entire urinary tract. Additionally, the high water content of watermelon can dilute essential minerals in your bloodstream, particularly magnesium and zinc, which are absolutely crucial for proper prostate function and health. The dramatic glycemic impact of watermelon creates insulin spikes that directly promote prostate inflammation, while simultaneously disrupting healthy hormone production. The excessive water content can exacerbate existing urinary symptoms, creating increased urgency and frequency that disrupts sleep and daily activities. Many men notice that their nighttime urination becomes significantly worse during periods of regular watermelon consumption, though they rarely connect these symptoms to their fruit intake. For hydration and natural refreshment without the inflammatory sugar load, choose cucumber water, herbal teas, or water infused with fresh mint leaves. These alternatives provide hydration benefits without the blood sugar chaos and inflammatory consequences. If you occasionally crave melon flavors, limit portions to 1-2 cup maximum and always consume with protein or healthy fats to minimize the glycemic impact on your system. The absolutely devastating truth that most men never realize is that these 5 fruits create what I call a perfect storm of prostate destruction when consumed regularly, either individually or in combination. Each fruit contributes different but synergistic inflammatory pathways that compound together to create exponentially more damage than any single fruit could cause alone. Let me break down exactly how this destructive synergy works in your body. Oranges provide inflammatory fructose metabolites that specifically target prostate tissue while disrupting healthy hormone metabolism. These metabolites create what's called oxidative stress, which damages the cellular structures within your prostate gland. Grapes deliver hormonal disruption through IGF-1 elevation, which directly stimulates prostate cell growth and proliferation. This growth factor essentially tells your prostate cells to multiply and enlarge, creating the physical enlargement that causes urinary symptoms. Bananas create dangerous mineral imbalances that interfere with proper smooth muscle function around your prostate, while feeding harmful gut bacteria that produce inflammatory endotoxins. These endotoxins enter your bloodstream and specifically target prostate tissue. Mangoes overwhelm your body's detoxification systems with massive fructose loads while creating chronic systemic inflammation that never allows your prostate tissue to heal and recover from ongoing damage. Watermelon triggers glycemic chaos that disrupts hormonal balance while creating hydraulic stress on your already compromised urinary system, making existing symptoms dramatically worse. When consumed together, as many health-conscious men do, thinking they're eating a variety of healthy fruits, these 5 fruits create a cascade of overlapping inflammatory processes that systematically and progressively destroy prostate health in multiple ways simultaneously. The combination effect is exponentially worse than any single fruit because each inflammatory pathway amplifies and accelerates the others. For example, the fructose from oranges makes your prostate tissue more sensitive to the growth factors from grapes, while the mineral imbalances from bananas prevent your body from properly managing the inflammatory load from mangoes and watermelon. Research from the International Men's Health Institute shows that men consuming multiple high-sugar fruits daily have prostate enlargement rates 340% higher than men who limit fruit consumption to low-sugar varieties. The inflammatory load becomes so severe that the body's natural healing and recovery mechanisms are completely overwhelmed. What makes this particularly tragic is that many men increase their fruit consumption when they start experiencing prostate symptoms, believing that more antioxidants and vitamins will help their condition. Instead, they're unknowingly accelerating the very inflammatory processes that are destroying their prostate health and masculine vitality. The compound effect also creates what I call inflammatory momentum, where the damage from yesterday's fruit consumption makes today's fruit consumption even more harmful, creating a downward spiral that becomes increasingly difficult to reverse without dramatic dietary changes. Now that you understand which fruits are systematically destroying your prostate health, let me share the 3 specific foods that can actually heal and protect your prostate while reversing much of the damage that's already been done. Unlike the inflammatory fruits we've discussed, organic pumpkin seeds contain the perfect combination of zinc, magnesium, and healthy omega-3 fatty acids that specifically support optimal prostate health and function. The zinc content is particularly crucial. Studies show that prostate tissue contains higher concentrations of zinc than any other organ in the male body, and zinc deficiency is directly linked to prostate enlargement and dysfunction. Just 1 tablespoon of organic pumpkin seeds provides approximately 2.2 milligrams of bioavailable zinc, along with 168 milligrams of magnesium that supports proper, smooth muscle function around your prostate. The healthy fats in pumpkin seeds also provide the building blocks your body needs for healthy hormone production and anti-inflammatory processes. Clinical research published in the Journal of Medicinal Food shows that men consuming pumpkin seeds daily experience significant reductions in prostate size, improved urinary flow, and reduced nighttime urination within 8 to 12 weeks of consistent consumption. The optimal protocol is 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw organic pumpkin seeds daily, consumed either as a snack or added to salads or other meals. Choose raw seeds over roasted varieties to preserve the delicate beneficial oils that support prostate health. The omega-3 fatty acids found in wild-caught salmon, specifically EPA and DHA, directly counteract the inflammatory processes triggered by high-sugar fruit consumption while supporting healthy hormone production and optimal circulation throughout your body. Unlike plant-based omega-3s that must be converted by your body, the EPA and DHA in salmon are immediately bioavailable and begin reducing inflammation within hours of consumption. These compounds specifically target the inflammatory pathways that cause prostate enlargement while supporting the cellular repair processes that can actually reverse existing damage. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that men consuming omega-3 rich fish 3 to 4 times weekly have 63% lower rates of prostate enlargement and significantly better urinary function compared to men with low omega-3 intake. The optimal approach is 3 to 4 servings of wild-caught salmon weekly, prepared with minimal processing to preserve the beneficial oils. Avoid farmed salmon, which contains significantly lower omega-3 levels and potentially harmful contaminants. Broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables contain unique compounds called sulforaphane and indole-3 carbinol that specifically support healthy testosterone metabolism while reducing prostate inflammation through multiple pathways. These compounds help your body properly process and eliminate excess hormones that can contribute to prostate enlargement, while simultaneously providing powerful anti-inflammatory effects that directly benefit prostate tissue. Clinical studies show that men consuming cruciferous vegetables daily have significantly lower rates of prostate problems and better overall masculine health compared to men with low cruciferous vegetable intake. Steam broccoli lightly to preserve the beneficial compounds while making them more bioavailable, and aim for 1 to 2 cups daily as part of your prostate healing nutrition plan. After 3 decades of helping men restore their prostate health naturally, I've identified the single biggest mistake that prevents men from experiencing the dramatic improvements they're seeking. They think that because fruits are natural, they can eat unlimited quantities without any negative consequences whatsoever. This is absolutely wrong and dangerously misguided thinking. Your prostate doesn't distinguish between natural sugars and artificial sugars. It only responds to the total inflammatory load you're placing on your system. A mango contains more sugar and creates more inflammation than many processed snacks that men carefully avoid. The second critical error I see constantly is men combining multiple high-sugar fruits in smoothies, fruit salads, or daily snacking routines, creating what I call inflammatory bombs that deliver massive sugar loads directly to your bloodstream. A typical fruit smoothie containing banana, mango, and orange juice can contain 60-80 grams of inflammatory sugars, more than most soft drinks. Another devastating mistake is the timing of fruit consumption. Many men eat fruit on empty stomachs, particularly in the morning, which maximizes the inflammatory impact by allowing rapid sugar absorption without any buffering from protein or healthy fats. This creates the worst possible scenario for prostate inflammation. The fourth mistake is portion control ignorance. Modern fruits have been bred to be larger and sweeter than their natural ancestors. What we consider a normal serving of fruit today would have been considered enormous just 50 years ago. Men routinely consume 2-3 times the appropriate portion sizes without realizing the cumulative inflammatory impact. Finally, and perhaps most tragically, men often ignore the obvious connection between their fruit consumption and worsening prostate symptoms, never realizing that their healthy intentions are actually fueling their problems. They continue eating inflammatory fruits while wondering why their prostate symptoms keep getting worse despite their healthy diet. The solution requires complete honesty about portion sizes, timing, combinations, and the total inflammatory load you're creating. Track your fruit consumption for 1 week and calculate the total sugar content. Most men are shocked to discover they're consuming 100 to 150 grams of inflammatory sugars daily from healthy fruits alone. Understanding which foods heal versus harm your prostate gives you incredible power over your health, your quality of life, and your masculine confidence. You don't have to passively accept worsening prostate symptoms as an inevitable part of aging. You can take complete control through informed, strategic food choices that either promote healing or accelerate damage. The 5 fruits we've discussed in detail today, oranges, grapes, bananas, mangoes, and watermelon, may seem obviously healthy on the surface, but they're systematically creating the exact inflammatory environment that enlarges your prostate, disrupts your sleep, and undermines your confidence. By eliminating these prostate destroyers and embracing genuinely healing foods like organic pumpkin seeds, wild-caught salmon, and cruciferous vegetables, you're choosing to actively support your masculine health naturally. Your daily food choices directly impact your prostate size, your sleep quality, your energy levels throughout the day, and your overall confidence in your masculine vitality. Every single meal is an opportunity to either feed dangerous inflammation or promote genuine healing and recovery. Start tomorrow morning with a completely different approach. Instead of orange juice or fruit salad, choose eggs with steamed broccoli and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. Replace your afternoon fruit snacks with a handful of raw almonds or walnuts. Your prostate will begin responding to these changes within days, and you'll notice improvements in urinary flow and sleep quality within the first week. The truth is, every man over 60 has the power to influence his prostate health through the foods he chooses to put on his plate. The inflammatory damage from years of high-sugar fruit consumption can begin reversing itself remarkably quickly when you remove the sources of inflammation and provide your body with the specific nutrients it needs to heal. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s experience dramatic improvements in their prostate symptoms, sleep quality, and overall masculine confidence simply by making these strategic dietary changes. Your age doesn't prevent healing, it just makes the right choices more important and more impactful. If this information about fruits and prostate health has opened your eyes to the connection between your diet and your symptoms, please hit that like button and share this video with other men who need to hear this truth. Your engagement helps us reach men who are suffering unnecessarily, thinking they're eating healthy while actually harming their prostate with every meal. Leave a comment below telling me which of these 5 fruits you've been eating regularly, or share your own experience with dietary changes affecting your prostate health. Your story might help another man finally make the connection between his food choices and his declining symptoms. Subscribe and ring that notification bell for more eye-opening truths about foods that specifically impact men's health after 60. Together, we're building a community of informed men who refuse to accept decline as inevitable and instead choose to take control of their health through knowledge and action. Remember, you have the complete power to heal your prostate through strategic food choices. The decisions you make at every meal either support your masculine vitality and confidence or systematically undermine it. Choose wisely, stay consistent, and your body will respond with better sleep, stronger urinary flow, and renewed confidence in your masculine health. Your prostate health is literally in your hands and on your plate. Make every meal count toward healing, not harm.